COVID-19 is officially back in the global economy. While you are being told by politicians that the inflation crisis is over and that prices are finally coming down, a massive new viral wave is quietly ripping through China's manufacturing hubs right now. But this time, the true danger is not just a medical crisis. The real danger is that multi-billion-dollar corporations are preparing to use this exact news as the ultimate excuse to freeze the supply chain, jack up prices, and trap the middle class in a permanent state of inflation. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are exposing the 2026 COVID economy trap. We are going to look at the unvarnished real-time data coming out of Asia right now. And more importantly, we will expose exactly how Wall Street plans to weaponize this virus to drain your wallet. By the end of this video, you will understand the dark corporate playbook of greedflation, and I will give you the exact tactical blueprint to protect your money before the new price hikes hit the shelves. Let us start with the hard, undeniable data that the mainstream financial media is currently trying to downplay. For the last year, the media has acted like the pandemic era was a closed chapter in our history books. They wanted you to believe the economy was returning to normal. But viruses do not care about media narratives or Wall Street projections. Right now, in the middle of 2026, COVID-19 has violently pushed its way back to the #1 spot of circulating respiratory pathogens on the Chinese mainland. According to the latest official data from the China CDC for the week of July 13th through the 19th, the COVID-19 positivity rate at sentinel hospitals across the mainland climbed to a staggering 16.3%. This was a massive, sudden jump in just a single week. In the month of June alone, mainland China recorded over 79,000 new confirmed cases. The dominant strain circulating locally is the NB.1.8.1 lineage. Now listen very closely to this next part. Health officials and researchers are publicly stating that this is a moderate seasonal wave. They are actively urging the public not to panic, noting that the virus has evolved into a common respiratory disease. From a purely medical standpoint, this is not 2020 all over again. There are no national lockdowns, the ports are not legally closed, and the severe case numbers remain relatively low. But Wall Street does not care about the medical reality. Wall Street only cares about the narrative. And the narrative of COVID returning to China is the single greatest financial gift that massive corporations could have ever asked for in 2000. To understand why this is a financial trap, you have to understand the psychology of the modern American corporation. Over the last 3 to 4 years, mega corporations have enjoyed record-breaking profit margins. They got absolutely addicted to raising prices. But recently, the American consumer finally hit a breaking point. People simply stopped buying overpriced goods. The middle class maxed out their credit cards and went on a spending strike. Retailers were suddenly facing immense pressure to actually lower their prices to get people back into the stores. Their profit margins were starting to shrink. And then, right on cue, cases start spiking in the largest manufacturing hub on planet Earth. This is where the trap is set. We're about to witness the return of the supply chain lie. In the coming months, when you go to buy a new laptop, a car part, building materials, or even basic imported electronics, you're going to notice that the prices have quietly jumped another 10 to 15%. And when consumer watchdogs ask these massive companies why the prices are going up again, they will point directly to the news out of China. They will tell you that the 16% positivity rate is causing localized factory slowdowns. They will claim that shipping containers are being delayed at the ports in Shanghai and Shenzhen. They will use the 79,000 new cases as a blanket, undeniable excuse for why they cannot possibly lower the cost of their goods. This financial strategy has a specific name. It is called greedflation. It is the highly engineered practice of using a global news event, whether it is a geopolitical conflict, a shipping canal blockage, or a moderate viral outbreak, as a psychological smokescreen to artificially inflate profit margins. The actual factory in China might only see a 2% increase in operational costs because a few workers called in sick, but the American corporation will pass a 15% price hike down to you, the consumer. They pocket the massive difference. Their stock price goes to the moon, their executives get multi-million-dollar bonuses, and you are left swiping a 25% interest credit card just to afford basic goods. We already saw them run this exact playbook perfectly in 2021 and 22. They trained the American public to expect shipping delays and to accept higher prices without ever questioning the underlying math. Now that COVID is making headlines again, they are simply dusting off the old playbook because they know it works. This phantom shortage is going to be incredibly destructive to the middle class. When the mainstream media starts amplifying the news of the outbreak in Asia, the algorithmic trading bots on Wall Street will automatically start bidding up the prices of commodities and raw materials. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of inflation. The mere fear of the shortage actually creates the massive price hike long before a single shipping container is ever delayed at a port. And the worst part is that once these prices go up, they almost never come back down. It is called sticky inflation. Corporations will use the temporary crisis to establish a new permanent baseline for how much you have to pay to survive. So, what have we actually learned today? We have learned that COVID-19 is officially back as the dominant respiratory virus in mainland China with a 16.3% positivity rate. We have learned that while health officials are calling it a moderate wave, American corporations are going to ruthlessly weaponize this data. And we have learned that the supply chain lie will be used to justify a completely new wave of greedflation, ensuring that the cost of living for the middle class never returns to normal. The financial system is relying heavily on your fear, your lack of information, and your financial exhaustion. But you do not have to participate in their manufactured crisis. You must protect your capital with extreme prejudice. Here's your hyper-aggressive step-by-step defense blueprint to survive the 2026 COVID economy trap. Strategy number 1. You must immediately initiate a 90-day freeze on all non-essential imported goods. If you're planning to upgrade your television, buy new tech gadgets, purchase imported furniture, or buy a new car that relies on foreign microchips, you must either buy it immediately today or delay the purchase for at least 3 to 4 months. Do not buy into the incoming panic. The corporations are going to artificially restrict supply to make you feel desperate. If you completely refuse to buy, their inventory will pile up in domestic warehouses and they will be mathematically forced to slash prices by the winter. You must starve them of your consumer dollars. Strategy number 2. You must audit your household essentials and aggressively buy locally sourced alternatives. The consumer goods that will see the absolute highest price manipulation are those exclusively dependent on the Asian supply chain. You need to insulate your daily budget by shifting your spending toward domestically produced goods, even if they cost slightly more up front today. You are not just buying a product, you are buying price stability. When the media announces a new supply chain bottleneck and the price of imported goods skyrockets overnight, you will be completely insulated from the financial shock. Strategy number 3. You must preserve your cash reserves for localized buying opportunities in the stock market. When the news of the Chinese outbreak hits the mainstream financial media heavily, the stock market's going to experience artificial volatility. Retail investors will panic and sell off perfectly good assets because they are psychologically traumatized by what happened in 2020. You must have cash on hand to act as an apex predator in the market. When amateur investors sell their assets out of manufactured fear, you step in and buy the dip at a massive discount. Strategy number 4. Demand absolute transparency from the companies you buy from. Do not accept the generic supply chain issues excuse anymore. If a local contractor or a retailer tries to raise a quote on you by 20% and blames China, walk away. Find a business that is not trying to use a global headline to steal your equity. The power of the consumer is the only thing that can break the cycle of greedflation, and that power requires you to say no. The 2026 economy is not driven by real supply and demand anymore. It is driven by headlines, corporate greed, and algorithmic market manipulation. Wall Street's going to use this returning virus to test exactly how much financial pain you're willing to tolerate before you break. The only way to win this game is to see the trap before it springs and completely remove your hard-earned money from the line of fire. If you are sick and tired of massive corporations using global news to steal your wealth, hit the like button right now. Have you already noticed prices creeping back up at your local stores or online? Let me know exactly what items are getting more expensive in the comments below. I read every single one to see how this greedflation's hitting your specific community. To stay ahead of this rigged financial system and learn how to truly protect your family's wealth, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on. Stay aggressive, keep your money safe, and I will see you in the next video.